Here we are again, and this time it's our 9th episode of the Panther Podcast. Don't forget to comment or like us on YouTube or Facebook. I'd like to welcome all of our listeners out there. I'm your guest host for today, Rachel Harrington. Last week's episode gave us an inside look at the 5th and 6th grade country projects. It was interesting to hear about all the work that goes into this project and the importance of doing these presentations. Before we tell you about today's podcast, it's time once again for the Panther Roundup. What's going on at Lisbon Regional School? Varsity teams played their first 2 games last week. This week, varsity plays a profile on April 18th, at Pittsburgh on the 20th, and at the end of the week at home versus Woodsville on the 22nd. There will be an Earth Day themed elementary community meeting on Thursday, April 21st. Don't forget to wear your Earth colors of green or blue. The middle school softball team opens the season on Thursday, April 21st, home against Profile at 4:00 p.m. On Friday, April 22nd, the middle school will hold its Spring Fling, which is like Winter Carnival, but obviously in the spring. Hal's Popcorn Poppers will also be here Friday for Popcorn Friday. Most importantly, next week it's April vacation. Pray for sunny, warm days. And now, let's get back to today's episode. Today's episode is going to showcase some of the student creativity we have here at LRS students in elementary and middle school. Students were given the opportunity to share stories or poetry that they have written. Our first poems come from 3 first graders who wrote and illustrated spring poems. Let's start with Zoe.
Hi everybody, I'm Zoe Weaver in 1st grade. Alright, let's start the book. Flying unknowingly over a tree, biting softly on a bird feeder, tweeting softly in my nest. I am a red cardinal by Zoe.
Hi, my name is Callie Kowicki, and I'm in 1st grade. Climbing happily on a tree, pecking hard on wood, chirping slowly in the bird feeder. I am a nuthatch.
Hi, my name is Lucidy Gonzalez, and I'm in 1st grade. Climbing happily near the trees, crunching quietly down near the grass, peeping aggressively in the trees. I am a blue jay.
Next up, we have a couple stories from 3rd graders, Carson and Jane.
Hi, I'm Carson Dodge, and my story is called The Potato Adventure. Hi, I'm Gerald, and last week was crazy. It all started at 5 in the morning when I went into the woods. I was going to build a fort when I heard a noise. I heard a door opening, so I went to the noise and saw a potato walking away from a floating house. I went to explore the house when a branch pulled me into the house. I was in a chair in the house, and the door was cracked open. I went to the door and ran out and ran to my house. I tried to sleep, but I was thinking about it. So I went there again the next day at 3 a.m. I looked at the sky and saw something green. It was coming right at me. Ah! It pulled me up, and it was a potato. I was in an alien ship and saw a door. I found a parachute and jumped out the door. I flew to a cave and found a crystal and picked it up. I flew to my neck, and I felt powerful. I somehow flew home, and guess what? It was a dream. I woke up to the sound of thunder and went to the woods and saw a potato. I followed him. He led me to a clown house. I went inside, and the potatoes were having a potato party. I asked the potato, "Can I join the party?" He said yes. Then the house disappeared, and the potatoes too. Where did they go? Then I was at a treehouse with bookshelves filled with books. There was an arrow that said, "Pick a book." So I picked a potato book. It said, "Go to your house and make a smoothie with french fries and potatoes." So I went to the local farmer market and got a potato I went to a fast food restaurant and got fries. I took the bus back to my house, made the smoothie and drank it. I became a potato. My house started to float and trees grew around it. And now I am a potato named Gerald, and I live in a floating house surrounded by woods. The end.
Hi, my name is Jane Chandler, and I'm in 3rd grade. Hannah Aldridge is going to read a story that I wrote.
The day at the beach. Sam, the door flew open. My best friend Amadi came in. Hey, do you want to play in the jungle with me? Said Amadi. Sure, I answered her. We ran down the hall of the hotel that we lived in. Once we were outside, I said, race you to the jungle. We ran as fast as we could. I win, said Amada. Okay, you win, I said, out of breath. Let's climb trees, said Amada. We climbed until we were tired out. Then a noise came out of nowhere. It said, girls, time for lunch. That is your mom, Sabrina said. Amada, let's go. Back to the hotel. We ran back to my apartment. It was hot, so I took off my long sleeve shirt off and put on my short sleeve on. Then I ran to the table. Mom said, a sandwich for you and a sandwich for you too. When we finished the sandwich, we went outside again. The hot jungle sun blinded us. It was hot, so we went to the beach to play in the water. The water is so cold, said Amada, shivering. It is, I said back, and then Amada and I heard a noise that we never heard before. Hey, what is that? I have never heard that before. I said, sort of frightened, let's go find that noise, Amada said. We walked slowly along the beach towards the noise. It was a whale, I said, running to it. Oh, what is a whale doing on the beach? Amada said. You're right, we have to help it. Amada said to me, well, we cannot just leave it. Go ask Mom and Dad, I said. Okay, Amada said to me. Amada and I ran back to the hotel. We ran up 3 flights of stairs to my apartment. Mom, Dad, I said. Yes, honey, Mom said. It's everything okay? She said, yes, everything is fine, I said to her. No, everything is not okay. A whale is stuck on the beach, she said to my mom. Oh, then there is no time to waste, my mom said. We went down the stairs and outside we ran across the beach to the whale. There he is, I said, concerned. Can we save the whale? I said to Mom and Dad. We will do our best. Mom put her hand on the whale. We better help fast. If we win want to, she said. So we all pushed the whale as hard as we could. The whale moved an inch, another, and another. It is moving, said Amada. Then, plop, the whale fell into the water. Hooray! We all cried as the whale swam to the deep waters. That was fun, I said, clapping my hands together. I have to make supper now, said Mom. Hey, Dad, can we eat on the beach tonight? And can me and Amada swim? I asked him. Yes, we can eat on the beach, and yes, you girls can swim, he answered me. Amada and I ran to the hotel to put on our bathing suits. Let's go swimming, I said. Amada, Mom and Dad came out with dinner. Time to eat, said Dad. We can come to the towel and dry it off. Yum! Shrimp, I said, licking my lips. We ate the shrimp up, and after we swam until dark. We have to go to bed, girls, said Mom. So we got out of the water and jogged up the hill to the hotel and went to bed. That is the day at the beach.
Thank you, Hannah. I hope you all enjoyed my story.
Our next pair of stories come from the students in 5th and 6th grade, Izzy and Charlotte.
Hello, my name is Izzy Cornelio, and I want to share a story with you. So, my mom and dad were going out with their friends, and my mom's sister was watching us. And we were playing and showing her stuff. Then it was Monday. She put us to bed. In the morning, me and my sister were going to school. Halfway there, I saw something. It looked like an animal. Me and my sister were scared, so she was crying. We both thought it was an animal, so we run back to my house and tell my mom's sister. After that, she was walking with us. We thought it was an animal, but it turns out it was poop from a horse.
Hi, my name is Charlotte Fish, and I'm going to be reading to you my story, The Stronger You Grow. All of Az's life was turned down, but that had to change. Chapter 1. Who even are you? Azza was a 15-year-old girl who, well, at least she thought, no one liked. Azza would sit alone at lunch in every period, unlike Lexi. Azza hated Lexi. If she could, Azza would move to a different continent if that meant she was away from Lexi. But of course, her hatred had to be hidden because her sister, Nova, was best friends with her. Like not just one best, probably best friend. Azza's brother, Ariz, was best friends with Lexi's brother, Ethan. And Azza's parents signed a stupid fake contract from Nova and Ariz saying Lexi and Ethan could come over at least once each week. It was so dumb. To be totally honest, Azza thought her dad didn't care for her. If she got straight A's on her grades and her siblings got F's, they would be congratulated for trying their best for some reason. But Azza didn't really care, because one day she knew she was going to move out and never have to deal with anyone again. But she still had to wait 3 years for that to happen. But even though she didn't know her dad didn't care, her mom did, and she loved her. Chapter 2. The School, the Bullies, and the Lies. As you know, Azza hates school, but it wasn't just because it was school. Azza was born in Vancouver, Canada, and lived there until 3rd grade. In 3rd grade, she moved from Vancouver to San Francisco. When she moved there, she moved into a house looking almost exactly like the one in Full House. But it all went downhill from there. When she came to her new school, it was great. She had friends and everybody loved her. But her best friend was Lexi. You may be shocked, but it was real. They hung out every day and loved each day of it until Azza got to 4th grade. One day she was walking home from school with Lexi when she fell down. Azza let out a giggle. Lexi got up and glared at her, her blonde hair wet and muddy from the snow. Azza knew Lexi's house was close, so she knew Lexi would run there. Instead, Lexi grabbed her hair and pulled her to the ground. She punched her, got up, and yelled, "I hate you, and I hope to never, never, ever see you again." Lexi ran off crying, knowing what she had done. Azza walked home, her hood over her face, trying to hide the bruises and knotted hair. When she got home, she didn't say hi, no welcome. She just ran up to her room. She was mad at herself because she knew she shouldn't have laughed at her. She was mad because she was wearing her favorite dress. Chapter 3, Scaredy Cat. Azza loved dressing up, but not anymore. The day Lexi broke her friendship, Azza was wearing a white dress with a tulle bottom and satin top. She would have come back to school with a new dress and new shoes, but that was her grandma's dress. She didn't want to make anything more ripped and gross than that dress. The next morning, she put on a sweatshirt, leggings, and ate her breakfast, brushed her teeth, and put on her old shoes, not her new ones. Her new shoes were white leather and had tiny heels to them. But her old shoes, they were old faded sneakers that she hadn't worn in months. She walked into her class. Everyone was looking at her. Nobody spoke. They just looked. Until Lexi yelled, "Aw, poor Azzy Wazzy is scared of me." She wasn't, but she knew that would happen for years and years to come.
To end our Tell Us a Story episode, Emma Smith from 7th grade is going to share a funny story about something that happened to her when she was little.
Hi, my name is Emma Smith, and I'd like to share a story of when I was a child and I was in my old house and I had a cat. So, my funny story is when I was around the age of like 5 or 3, I think I went to my room and I saw a Cocoa Puff on the floor. And I saw it and I grabbed it, I picked it up, and I keep in mind, I was never allowed to eat in my room. So it was so weird that I just had a Cocoa Puff in my room. So I grabbed it, okay? And I was like, yum. So I ate it, and I was like, hey, whatever, I'll eat it. So I picked it up, put it in my mouth, and I'm like thinking, hey, it tastes kind of stale. Kind of different from what I'd normally eat. So I'm chewing it, and I swallow it, and then I started choking. So I'm choking, right? And while I'm basically dying on the floor, my mother, she starts rushing up the stairs because she heard me aggressively choking. So my mom was like, "Oh my god, sweetie!" So she starts yelling to my dad to get me like water. She's yelling because my room was upstairs and he was downstairs, and like we got this whole house separating us, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm still dying, keep in mind. And my dad comes running up with a sippy cup full of very cold water, and he takes that sippy cup, like overflowing of water, and he takes it, he puts it into my mouth, and he's like, drink it, Emma. He's yelling at me. I'm suffering from anxiety as a small child, and I was a very shy kid, so I didn't know what to do. So I took this sippy cup being handed to me as a peace offering, as in, I can eat in my room now. And I was like, thank you. I was still choking. It was getting hard to breathe. And then my mom goes, drink the water, Emma. And I still don't understand. So my mom grabbed me by the wrist, and she was like really holding on. She pulled me to the bathroom, and then she took the sippy cup, she took my head, she tilted my head back in front of the mirror. I remember seeing the shock on my face. And she sticks this sippy cup into my mouth, and then she's just like, I'm chugging it. She's like, chug, chug. So, and then this water made this Cocoa Puff go down my throat. So I would stop choking on it. Instead, I would just have it down in my stomach. So I got this Cocoa Puff in my stomach now. And then like 3 years later, that's when I realized, that's when like the consciousness fully kicked in, and I was like, that wasn't a Cocoa Puff. And that's when I realized my cat started a new diet when I was little. She started a new diet. So it was such a small poop that it got her to just, it got my little dumb kid brain to be like, pick it up with my bare hands in the middle of my room, stick it in my mouth, say, this tastes good. 2 seconds later, I'm rolling on the floor with my mom trying to comfort me while she grabs me by the wrist, pulls me in. And yeah, that's how I choked on my cat's poop.
I hope you enjoyed our stories and poems in today's podcast. Because of vacation, we were going to take a little break, so our next episode will be aired on Monday, May 9th. It is called A Tribute to Moms. The end of the year is going to be very busy, so we'll be back to fill you in on what's happening. With that, I'm Rachel Harrington, and thank you for joining us for the LRS podcast.